Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Aquarius Rising Africa with me, Chantal. Definitely your hostess with the mostest for sure. I have with me a lovely lady, Anna Bartkova, this afternoon, this morning, wherever in the world you are, who is a survivor of professional sport, namely tennis. Now, you all know I've probably spoken about tennis a lot. That was my passion, my game. And so to hear these stories, especially with professional people, is quite frightening. Actually is. Anyway, Anna will be sharing with us today, but before we oops, let me just, gosh, I've just taken my camera off. Camera giving problems. Just give me a moment, guys. Apologies for that. On the day you don't want to, it does everything. Anyway, I will talk to you with my camera off for a while. I'm just going to bring the schedule on for the rest of the week. Although we are sitting in Thursday already. So tomorrow, actually, if you guys haven't caught Jesse's show, let me just actually reverse a little bit backwards, right? Let me go back to Monday where we had Jamie J, amazing researcher, and we spoke about the occult, sort of the sexual control, mind control, modern day slave society. Super, super interesting topic. And also, we spoke a lot about the Stockholm syndrome and how that actually works. I mean, we speak about that a lot, but really great interview with Jamie J. Then, of course, yesterday, Double Trouble with Jesse. Very cool. We did the second show we did was on the Biltmore, right? That would be Gloria Vanderbilt, who's the mother of Anderson Cooper, and the shenanigans there at Biltmore, their estate. And one of the things that really struck me in that interview was, we speak a lot about the milk contracts. JC's been doing some deep decodes on the different areas and the different contracts they have. The oh man, I want to call them the cabal, but I don't know who they really are. The brotherhood, I think, but there's lots of sisters involved there as well. But the connection they have with each other, and then of course this whole a few years ago with the kids' faces on the milk cartons, and then the milk moustache, the "Got Milk" slogan, and the nefariousness around that. I mean, it is absolutely beyond shocking. Anyway, that is a great show to watch, very informative, and again, speaks about stuff that you do not hear, I don't think, anywhere else on the decodes. So catch that show. Then tomorrow, well, after this, I'm actually interviewing Chris Latera as well as Dr. Juliet Engel, along with Danny Henderson. So the four of us are going to be talking about MK and Montauk in Canada and what's happening there. Then, of course, we have our Sunday loop. We'll watch the rest of the schedule to see what's coming up for the rest of the week. Okay, now let me see if my camera will work. All right, just give me a moment, guys. I'm sorry about this. But sometimes, things just don't work out the way they should the first time around. But without any further ado, I'm actually going to bring on Rapu. There we go. Sorry about that. There I am. And there's the lovely Anna. Gosh, Anna, I'm sorry about all the drama that you've had to walk in here today with cameras and things not working. Guys, welcome. And to all of you in the chat, I want to just say welcome. And as always, thank you so, so much for joining us and supporting our survivors with their testimonies. And of course, we have our first time on Arrow Survivor today. Anna Bartkova. Hello, Anna. How are you? And thank you so
Hello,
much for joining me.
everyone. Yeah, I'm very, very happy to get the chance to speak out up and be a part of the uncovering of the matrix we are living in, because the most people don't know what's actually happening behind closed doors and hidden in the hidden. So yes, happy
Yeah,
to be here. Hi to everyone.
I think I think it's so amazing the time we're living in. As you say, we're all uncovering the matrix right now, and the time we're living in, it's incredible in a good and a bad way. In the good way, because of people like yourself, and more and more and more people like yourself coming up and sharing and shedding light on these atrocities that have been happening for so long, and the manipulation of children and the abuse and rape and just horrific experiences that kids like yourself have had to endure. And also incredible that that has gone down in society for so long, and that it has gone undetected for so long. And that is very disturbing. But obviously, with you here, it's not undetected for that long. But Anna, before you go any further, one of the viewers has just asked if you can turn up your sound. Is there any way you can turn up
You
your
know what?
volume, or maybe sit closer to the mic? There we go.
Yeah.
Closer to the mic
Yes.
it is. I think it's probably, yeah, it's
Okay.
better now.
Yeah, the sound is
There.
important. I actually do know that. So the question is, if we still have kind of connection problems, if I should change my location in my home. We have to try, and then I can fast also. Maybe it's also
No,
the location where I'm sitting in. Yeah.
I think
I
the internet is fine. Your sound is
Yeah,
fine. It's more just that it's soft. So more just,
perfect.
yeah, with the mic closer to your hand is sorry, to your mouth
Oh,
is, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, much better. So awesome.
Okay. Okay.
But Anna, why don't you maybe take us back to the beginning? How did this begin for you? I mean, I know the game
Yeah.
that you have been exploited in is tennis, but how did that begin for you? Maybe you want to just start sharing that with our viewers.
Yes. So I was born in Czech Republic in East Europe, and to a mom which was half German and half Czech. And in that time in Czech Republic, you had kind of the result of communist system, which wasn't at that time on the power anymore. So it was still kind of everyone had the same money, and but you had to face disadvantages when you were like half German, for example, because it's more leaned to Russia. So even if it's next to Germany, it has nothing to do with the West system. So yes,
Right,
and yeah, and my mom told me that she wasn't accepted to the university. So this was a big problem, because if you didn't study in this system, you couldn't. I mean, you couldn't make the living to survive. Like, for example, as a single mom. Yes, and this was the trouble, I think, or this did made her life very difficult. And after she got divorced from my dad, I was 5 at this time. Um, she made a radical decision to leave Czech Republic behind and move to Germany, and it had to do something with her new partner. So they got together when I was 7, and he was a professional tennis player. In this time, I was 7, and he was ending his career. He was playing the last ATP Tour matches, and yes, they made this radical
I just
decision.
have a question.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
sorry, sorry, Anna. I just have a
What?
question. I mean, you say that he was a professional tennis player. Is he
Yeah.
well known on circuit?
He was the 247 on the world ranking list. So not really, but he could, like, he wasn't a millionaire, but he was earning enough to make his living on a
Right.
good level, so to say. Yes. So the people in the circuit did know him, but you kind of starting with top 20, top 50, where, yeah, you're starting your career and you did actually make it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Cool.
yeah. When we were moving to Germany, my mom left behind my brother. He stayed with my father, and because he was 6 years older and 1 year before his sorry, I'm searching the word, education level, high school diploma. Yes. And to learn the language without a accent and have kind of a chance to study, you have to come, yeah, the latest age would be 9, 10. And so this was the decision to actually leave my brother behind. And yes, when we were like 2 years in staying in Germany, living there, they made the decision that I will follow his career and starting, yeah, like training professionally. And this meant that I was training like for 6 hours a day. This was the start. And
Did you say? Did you say they left you that your mum took you and not your brother? So you and your brother were separated in the divorce.
yes,
Is that what you say? And
after the
how old was your brother at the time? How old was your brother at the time, and how old were you?
yes, 15, 15, and I was 7, 14,
So
turned 15, and
okay,
I, yes.
right.
And
And so
the
he
divorce
stayed
was,
with your
yeah,
father.
he stayed with my dad. Yes, yes. hmm And this was,
Right.
of
Okay.
course, this was a shock, kind of, yeah, but it happens, sure. And I think this kind of circumstances are happening for often for single moms or people that haven't the financial
Mm,
background, you know. So they have to kind of jungle. And as I got older, I did understand, and it isn't like I say, okay, she made so much mistakes, and this is what I don't what I cannot yeah kind of sorry, I'm such a word. Um, so I do understand, yes. But the thing was that when we were about 2 years in Germany, not only the excessive training started, but it came out that her partner was aggressive, um, but only against me. And I can tell you, I was a really like sweet child. I I was um, I, this is a point what I don't understand. He started to abuse me, like with hitting, um, physically, but not only that, he was making like a shameful situation, creating this kind of situation on the court. You have to imagine you don't train only alone, you also train with others in a group, and you are with four people on a court and one trainer, and he did this abuse before the in front of the people. So that was really hard. Already with 9, I did understand something isn't right with him. Yeah, and later I also kind of thought about it. What was the point? Why did he started to abuse me? So I know that his parents were doing like the same, and I find out that it is a trauma based thing that you give this if you are not conscious and aware, um, into the next generation, So yeah, so he was already abused, and he gave it to further to me. Yeah.
When did he start? I mean, if he started being your tennis coach and obviously would have started grooming you on the court already, did the physical sexual abuse start before he started grooming you, or did it start after?
So I have to, because I did not reach the point with the sexual abuse. This comes later.
Right.
He wasn't
Much
touching.
later.
Yeah, yes, he wasn't touching me sexually. That I cannot put on his person. So no,
Hmm.
but he was abusing me physically. Like he took the role of a stepfather, and there was also nice things which he did for me. Like we were traveling to Disneyland, um, yeah, different destinations. So he was kind of really having also a nice side, and I think he tried to his best. But this abuse thing, and we have to also go back, but back to Czech Republic. It's, I don't know. I think it's changed. The people are more aware, but in this time, the physical abuse was completely normal. It for children to be hidden. Yes. So this,
Right.
yeah, and but it wasn't only this hitting or, like um, making like trying to raise a child. There was certain points like, how can I say, choleric, can you say it in English? Like he hasn't his anger in control, under control. So every time when in his life was something not going well, maybe financial problems or something, whatever, it was always like the abuse was for him a creation where he got his anger out of him. So catalyst, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did already realize this at the age of 9 that this is not normal. Yes.
Where
So
is your mom there when he was abusing you
yeah,
physically at this point? Did
yeah.
your mom allow it? What was her? I mean,
So
what was her take in all
yes,
of this?
Shvanti. So you yes, yeah. So you have to imagine she already was also kind of hidden sometimes. Yes. Like this was actually average life in Czech Republic. So to at this time, so she already was hidden too from her father. So she kind of realized after I think 2 years when we were there was 2 years a certain point when something changed, um, like psychologically. And she realized it, and she came to me once to my bed and said, "We have to stand it." But she wasn't hit, she wasn't abused. So I was the survivor, the yes. um, and she said, "We have to stand it because he is taking care for us." So this was at the age of 9. This was the so no everyone was watching, and no one was like, it's a typical thing for this, for abuse, that people don't know how they are like stuck, they freeze, they don't know what to do. So if I would be in this situation where I see a child that is struggling, and I like, if I would, when I took my child to the kindergarten, and I would say, um,
Anna, the
yes,
sound is very bad. The sound
what
is
really
really
bad.
bad. Yeah, so now the internet seems to be bad as well. I'm not sure if you can maybe move a little bit or adjust something there.
Yeah, should I stay in the room, Shanti, sorry, or should I leave
That's
the room?
I'm not sure. It depends wherever the internet is best for you. Wherever you are now is actually a lot better.
Okay, then.
But are we missing a lot of what you're saying?
You know what? Then if I should be next time on, I will be changed the location. So for now, if you say
Where
I
you
should,
are now, that's good.
okay, then I
Where you
stay
are
here.
now, that's good.
Okay,
But if you want to try change it, you can. Whatever's going to help for you. Yeah, it's just that it's difficult to hear everything you're saying.
okay. So can you just tell me quick if I'm able to freeze the, the how you say? Should I just take the computer with me, or should I go short out, and how you do
You you
that?
fi- you fine now. Wherever the where you are right now is fine. You can just carry on from there. It's fine for
Okay.
now. As long as
Okay.
yeah, the mic is closer, and for some reason, yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we were at the point where I was telling that I had the conversation with my mom when I was about 9 years old, and 2 years in Germany, and she realized that this is not actually normal. Yeah, discipline of a child. So she said to me, "We have to stand it because he is taking care for us." Th- this was, and I realized this is not. Oh, this is also not normal. So I think she was helpless, and also I was telling when I were seeing a child like in my, like for example in a kindergarten, and I would know the child like and I would see abuse, I would do something. I mean, I'm not telling that the child services are good, because there's happening also a lot of abuse, and I don't think that when a child is taken out of his family, it's a good thing. But if my mom and her husband wouldn't feel so safe, maybe they would also like, yeah, taking it seriously. So I developed through this abuse kind of anxiety, and when I was alone at night, about age 10, 11, I, not 11, not, but 9 and 10, I was having, I was having fear. My mom were going out with her husband, and I was, I was having stomach ache, and I was really in fear. And they did left me frequently alone, like 3 times a week or something. And I know also that in our generation or my mom's generation, this kind of things were normal. They didn't take the children so serious when they were telling them something. But yeah, it did affect my health and my psyche, and yes, it was really hard. So, and I told, okay, yes, is the
No,
sound
carry
better?
on, carry on. Sorry. It does
No, no,
sound
no.
better now. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. So I was training frequently, like to the age of 12, like as I said, so between 4 and 6 hours every day. And they kind of saw that I have I was special in the term of power. Like I know the words in German, but I try to say like condition and a lot of mm, muscles, and this was kind of special for my age. So at age 12 I was pushing with the legs 200 sorry 160 kilos. So this was something where they saw in me the possibility to get on the top. Yeah. And there comes the
Wow.
yeah, but this was actually my misery, because there comes in the ex-trainer of my stepdad, which was training just professionals, um, and getting them on the top. So in tennis, you have to imagine a lot of things change. But so I'm 40 years old. So um, in my age, the you had to be like with 16 in the um, for men ATP, like in the world rank list.
Right.
So between 12 and 16, there you go into the extreme training. And I met his trainer the first time when I was 7. And when I got like 11, 12, my mom did separate herself from her husband, my stepfather, and did made a shady deal with his ex-trainer, and she kind of sold me to him. So sorry, I think they they also I think my mom knew that he will be abusing me sexually. That was kind of the deal, he will take care for me. Like, if you train this kind of level, you can't drive into your trainer, like you live with him. This is the easiest way to get on the um, 8 hours a day time, and you also have the school, um, where you kind of are 16 hours working already with 12, 13. And with 13, he created like a situation, sorry, a situation where I felt something is not okay. And he started to go when I was showering in the bathroom, and I felt already this is also not okay and not normal. But children freeze. They you know my mom left me there, and at that time my mom wasn't stable herself, so I was afraid actually to go where she was staying with her new boyfriend, and he didn't want to have children. He was kind of very material oriented, money oriented, and there wasn't kind of a place for me. So after she made this shady deal, which I found later out as a grown up, I was living with,
I want to just,
yeah,
can I just, sorry, I want to just backpedal and just bring this all together for a moment here. So we're hearing that obviously your mom and your dad got divorced, and she then married a professional tennis coach who started training you quite extremely from the age of 7. So by the age of 9, I mean, you were under some extreme tennis coaching from him. And he'd kind of taken control over your authority and control, I guess, right, over your life. I mean, it feels to me what you're saying is that he completely disempowered your mom. And when we're looking at these situations, it's just, and I see it so, and I'm sure, I mean, I'd love to hear what the viewers think about this as well. But it's like these predators will, as you say, find their way to a single mom who is battling financially, or maybe has a problem with her health or her um, self image, whatever. They find her and then they ingratiate themselves in there and then start grooming the kids. So he started grooming you, and first with abusive, uh, violent words and really extreme training. Hey, I was well, I was not professional, but semi, right? I mean, at my school and stuff, I was on that circuit all the time as a youngster. I know some of the training that's involved with that, right? Um, but so he's taken over your life, then gets to a point where your mom and him get divorced, and he's now already your coach, and he's grooming you for this professional career in tennis, which according to him means now at this stage that it's best that you go and live with him so he can coach you and he can groom you into this tennis star. At this stage, your mum is, her mental health is gone. She's married to probably another handler of sorts, who's keeping her placid and in her place so that she can't interfere too much with your life and how your handler is grooming you. Am I correct? Does that kind of
yes.
wrap it up in a nutshell?
Yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely correct. I just have to make an anecdote. I was starting this professional training with 9, so there were like 2 years where I was a normal child from the age of 7 to 9.
Right.
Even he was already her partner. But you are
It,
completely right.
it's,
Yes,
they're so disgusting. I'm sorry. These guys, I mean, you could
I
just
think.
see, sorry, it's like the first 2 years, he would have been so sweet and so nice and just being this perfect dad, right? Uh, for this single mom and her daughter. It's just sickening, actually. Sorry, carry on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, no, no. Yes, Shanti. So, he was a bit younger than my mom, so she was actually the kind of dominant force. But in regard to like earning um, and certain, but it was like a bit hidden. He wasn't that type of guy that was like really masculine and going like taking over completely, and 90% his decision and 10% my mom's. So I think she was kind of through the divorce developing kind of a handler syndrome where she was dreaming about a life with a lot of money, like materially safe, and she saw the potential. So she saw, and this is also why I later tried to really leave the country. Like Germany is my home, but because she couldn't let go even after I was already and grown up. Yes. So when we go now back, the scene in the shower, this was my heart was racing. I realized, okay, here's something not okay. I was 13 at that time, so I was already like training this 8 hours a day, which were too much. So I think if it would be kept to 6 or 7, my body wouldn't be shutting down and giving up. But this was the maximum what you could actually take out of my body. My father is one, I have to say it in European measurements, 190 meters big, and I am like 170, but I was measured as a child because I was too big for my age. In the childhood, it was really like, yeah, it was sticking out, and I think all this training and this um, weight, pushing the weight, was too much for the body. So I stopped to grow. I had already a um, broken, like, in the back, already a problem, and yes, it was really the maximum what you could take out of so small body. Yeah. So I also had like different organ system problems at the age of 13, 14. There were already like gynecologic problems. I didn't get my period. So all this was a sign that the body cannot anymore. And they completely ignored
Yeah,
it. Yeah. And this
absolutely.
this was so not only the sexual abuse, Shanti, but this I was sleeping in the school. I couldn't anymore. Yeah, this sorry.
It's no, I mean, to me, it's such a classic case of grooming, you know. And again, as you say, you were a strong child, maybe taller than the rest of your little peers, right? So they thought they could push you and train you and see to how far they could push your body and how far you could actually take it, right? It's insane to me. Again, you know, on this professional sports arena, you know, and I hear you say what you were saying early on that he wasn't this big macho kind of guy. Most of these pedos aren't. That's the thing. They're these unsuspecting, nice guys. You know, most of them don't come off as being these players, you know. They come across as being these family kind of oriented guys that take care of the wife and are concerned and all of that, doting, you know, too much almost. That's the problem. So that, you know, to me, it feels like he'd been grooming or he'd himself been groomed. And obviously now he was coming in as a handler. The way this whole story unfolds for me is so predictable, actually. They just, with each person, they just do it a little bit differently, right? They just tweak it a bit differently. Their biggest aim is to um, paralyze your relationship with your mother, because that's actually in any child's life, that is the most important lifeline that a child has. A child will always seek its mother when it's sick. Think about that. Most kids, when they're sick, call for mommy, right? They love daddy and daddy can be their hero in other ways, but when they need that nurturing or whatever, it's always mommy, if it's a normal mother, that is, right? Um, and my point is that they've taken that and then introduced this guy at the age of 7, and then he comes in being the groomer already, um, taking away your mom's power. It's so predictable what they're doing, and then going all the way till now the age of 13, where you can now take your virginity, and that is something that is a prize for them. I mean, I'd be interested to know, was this an ongoing thing, um, that he violated you sexually while you were living with him? Did you become like his girlfriend? And I know,
Yes.
and I ask you that because this often happens. And this is exactly what I was having this conversation with Jamie J about on Monday, the Stockholm syndrome. It's like he's moved in with you, right? Or you've moved in with him. You're like literally living in this home with your abuser, and he's violating you. Yet at the same time, he's caring for you. He's being kind. He's making sure there's a roof over your head. And I've no doubt there must have been those moments where he treated you really special, right? And said all the right things to you, and made all the right moves, right? Curious to
So,
know.
yes, this comes now. This was actually like a decision which I had to make with 13. So, after the shower scene, it took about 3 days, and it was something had changed. And if you are intentional, like you feel energy and connections, you can read it without talking. And there was this kind of conflict situation, a artificial one, like because nothing was different and happened. And we were, because he was having a flat with only 2 rooms, and like I had to say 3 rooms, but it was all open, the living room, and so we had to sleep like in one bed. So I at the age of 12, 13, I didn't realize that this was a set up plan. But my mom knew, she gave me to him. So again, I think my mom was the force behind it. She was the handler. She is a kind of a business oriented, um, not so, for example, I am creative, like um, to discipline my dog. It's taken me such a strength. So I have a Malinois, so you have to be kind of strict, and it's not my nature. But my mom was this kind of, yeah, person. So again, she set it up, and they kind of said, okay, yes, this is okay. And the situation, when we go back to the sexual abuse, when it did started, he kind of touched me in the area of my breast in the morning, and this was the first time he started to abuse me. So he made a decision, this will happen now. And I was shocked. I went, got fast out of the bed, and I was shocked. I went to another room, and my mind was racing, my thoughts were racing, and I actually realized in which situation I am in with at the age of 13 years. So he came after like 2 hours into the room and said, you can make a decision on your own. I can drive you back to your mom. Um, if you want to, I will do it. And this was this was the situation where I knew when I go back, it will be not better. This was a aware situation and thought that I had at the age of 13, that when I will go back to my mom, she can't take care of me and she is so cold, this kind of type of cold mom, that uh, I stay. If this is what I have to do for it to be able to um, get, because I felt so responsible at the age of 13 for my mom's life, because they set it up like they say to you, yeah, the sponsors, they invested in you, and this was true. I was in Florida at Nick Bollettieri Academy a short time. I was um, in a private school in Baden-Baden in Germany. So this does cost a lot of money, and the time my trainer invested in me. And they kind of bring it to you that you have to understand, you have to be grateful, and whatever it takes, when you want to reach the top, you have to do whatever. And I didn't even want to be a tennis player.
Wow.
Did it all for them, to be a good child, to have a chance in life, like my mom did, prepare everything. Yes. So I stayed, and I was for 2 years the girlfriend, like like a normal girlfriend. Yeah. And
What did that, when you say you were his girlfriend for 2 years, from the age of 13 to 15, I'm assuming, I'm looking at that age group. I mean, that is such a impressionable age for a young girl. I mean, I think about myself at that age. It's the age my granddaughter's reaching now, 13. A beautiful age, an innocent age. It really is a time when a young girl is finding herself and, of course, wearing her short little shorts and trying to get away with kissing her boyfriend and, that sort of stuff. But I mean, what a violation of your innocence. You're a beautiful woman, and you really are. You really are a beautiful young woman. And I can imagine this pervert must have been on cloud nine, having you at his side all the time. So I want to know, maybe if you can tell us, as best as what you can remember, what that looked like for a 13-year-old to be the girlfriend of her tennis coach, who what was must have been in his 30s, 40s by now.
yeah, I have to describe him, of course. Yes. So he was this character trainer, not my stepfather again, was 20 years older than my stepfather. So he was already in his 50s, like I would say, as I remember, 52 at the time where he started to touch me. He was a handler for women. This was a side hustle thing. So in the hidden, he was kind of working. I think he had a domina and was kind of big in business, and yeah, prostitute stuff. And this was like in the 70s when he was young, and I think he never gave it up. So when you set your foot once in the organized crime, you will not go, like, I mean, you will not leave it. So he was still like at night visiting some sort of clubs where I think he sold women. And at day yeah, about the day he was tennis coach, professional tennis coach. So, and what was he for a type? He was kind of like, you imagine, this handler. He was tough, and he had, for this kind of age, still a muscular and good looking kind of body. So he wasn't having a big belly or something. Yes. And I think he has also guns in his flat. Like he was a handler, a really tough handler. And so yes, this was like, you have to imagine, we left in the morning. He drove me to school, and later on he picked me also up, and sometimes we started also train before the school, so we get the amount of the 8 hours. And after the school, yeah, we did kind of train till the evening, late evening. And then I he was kind of, I didn't cook, and I didn't have time for nothing than training. So he took care. He was getting food from the restaurant for us to take away every day, and he was also washing the clothes. So he took really care for me, because um, I was just training. I didn't get the basis like normal human would do. Like my mom never showed
Sure.
me, like, because there is no time for nothing. So I had one kiss before he started to abuse me, and this was my experience with boys. Like, so I I didn't have
Wow.
a childhood, and also I didn't have an experience. And then I was kind of, yeah. And what did it create for me later on? I did connect love to this kind of situation. And this is the
Sure.
most worth for survivors, because
Mm.
you have to unconnect the brain, the subconscious, to live a healthy life. So this was a really big damage. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you have questions,
How did Yeah,
yeah.
how did that relationship finally end? I mean, and it was like, I mean, I understand he would be driving you to school and back. Were you guys going out on dates? Did his associates know that you were together? Did your school peers know something was up?
Yes, and you.
And I mean, when you say he was a tough handler, what does that mean?
Yes. Okay, I start with the last question. And this is what the questions you are asking me shows me that you are very experienced, for sure. So, yes, that means that you are very organized in the underworld. You know that if one woman would want to escape without your permission, because you will not go, you will be sold. um, you would kind of have an accident, or will be killed. So they are very organized, and this is what I mean uh, with it. And the he never showed it in the public that we were kind of together. So never. He was they are not, they are very intelligent, these people. So they have everything under control. They are very manipulative. Also my mom could manipulate people against me. So the outcome will be in her favor. So yes, never in public, only training, getting home, and every day the same. Yes, and in public, when he was training also others, he was hiding it. There, and this was also hurtful, because I did love him. This is also something very um, for people that did not experience this. A human wants to have love. You can't survive. You can survive an amount of time, maybe without food, and a lot of things, but love, you are dependent on it. And even if you were like in a hardcore situation where you have to perform and give all your strength, you need this affection. and this is more not the sexual thing, it's affection. And this did happen only at home. Yeah. My classmates made once a comment, so there is a connection when people are together. And even if it's an old grandpa and a young girl, you can feel it when you see it over and over and over again, and you have intuition. You can. So one girl made a comment, so I ignore it. And a grown ups that someone would say something, no, never. No one was wondering, because in the circuit it isn't unusual, and it's also like normal for people, and it's sad, but it is normal that the trainers are the partners. So I think when I would not make the decision later, I will get to that now, and would not go away, he would be disclosed at some point when it would be like not against the law, I think. Yeah, because in a professional sport, it's nothing
Very
unusual.
interesting. And yeah, and I think that's the classic, what we were talking about earlier on, like the Stockholm syndrome, and I mean that trauma bonding. And he knew, obviously, as a handler, etc., exactly how to trauma bond with you. So fast forward until to the time that your relationship ends. What causes that, and what happens after that?
Yeah, Shanti. So my mom was in having a friend who was a a how you say, a medium, and she told her that there is a danger that I will get pregnant, and I was 15 at that time, and um, my mom organized a um, how you say, I was taken from him, not to end it, but to put me into the national tennis team. So I was in the Czech Republic national tennis team for a certain amount, I think a half year in Prague. And she did set it up. So um, I I was so close to actually. You have to imagine, if you are in this um, kind of level and you worked 10 years on it, it doesn't take a thing to do to get into the um, world ranking list. So you can have a, you say in English, advantage card, where you get 1 point and you are then 999 on the place 999. So this is how you start. They kind of make it when you are 16, and this is where you get into the not junior career but the grown up career, VTA. And I was in Prague already hurt. My back was not okay, and I couldn't train very well. I got every day like headaches, and so I went on a holiday for 2 weeks, and there I made the decision that I will end the career. I was 15, and I was make it for myself, because I had the um, I thought for myself, I will be invalid, like completely damaged with 30, and what is then? And I can't be sure that I make it to the top 20 or like top 50. And with this kind of condition I am in, I don't have to, if I'm logically think about it, I don't think I will make it. So the girls that were like with me in the national team or training with me, like having the next to level, they were later on. I took a look, like also in the top 200. Yes, but you have to imagine you have a lot of costs flying to the matches and everything. So I kind of thought about logically, and I said to myself, I don't want to be a trainer my whole life. This is not my sport. I love like a kind of completely other direction. And I had the body for it. So actually, when I started Shanti, I was too thin. My trainer, the abuser, saw me first time on the tennis court, and he was kind of checking me out before we started to train. This was like the second time I met him, and he said, what won't you do with this, like to my mom and her partner, because I was like too thin and hadn't control over my body because I was too big. So he said, Anna could be more like in the dancing or ballet type. So they make completely other body out of my my predestination, kind of. Yes. So this is the
Wow.
point. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and you have always the in the background like the financial pressure. Even you are not,
Mm.
um, yeah, setting it up and yeah. So this was kind of where I thought, no, now it's the point where I do end it. So my mom, I went back to Germany, and my mom couldn't let go. So I kind of trained a half year more, but before I did that, I had one meeting where my abuser, my tennis coach, drove to my house. I was at this time like 16, and this was the separation in between 15 and 16. And he thought it would be going on. He never ever could imagine that I will give it up. And I felt not healthy anymore at that point. Not only the back, everything, the whole system was shutting down. I felt it already. And I said, it's over. Like I was with in this age already like a grown up, because and my childhood was ending. Like when we take a look at the children in Gaza, we also see like not children anymore in the little bodies, because too much happened. So
Yeah.
childhood is over. Yes, and the psyche kind of developed then faster, and to survive, the human body has and psyche has a lot of strength. It takes so much to kill a human if it's not had to be
Absolutely.
like, yes.
Absolutely.
So so he was shocked and drove away. This was the last time I saw him, and I trained, as I said, to kind of, yeah, give my mom a little bit time to realize that it doesn't make sense anymore. And then I gave it up. I had a operation then also, and I s- I took like 1 year just being in the home, not leaving the home, because I was so tired. I was so done, Shanti. And at the age of 17, so I was living from the age of 16 to 17 with her, and her boyfriend, the material, financial oriented one, and they were working together in the marketing business, and I was kind of left alone, like for myself. And she was mad at me the rest of my life. She was extremely mad at me that I left the sport. She never spoke about it or said it to me, but all she did was then against me. So I say to you, Shanti, she was hating me from this point on, and she made a plan to, this is so crazy and extreme. And at one point, she does love me. I know, I can feel it, but there is something not all right. So there were happening so much things where I realized she gives me the I was like responsible for her life being damaged because I decided
Right.
to end it. Hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And what?
She sold you into the system. And
Yeah.
mm, sorry, and we've obviously got a internet issue here. Carry on. Sorry, Anna.
No, sorry. I know. When I'm watching your shows, I already know, but it's so hard when you are then like kind of speaking to realize when it's a little bit, yeah, delayed. So when you are talking, I have to be quiet for a short of amount, but I'm
Mm-mm.
like want to tell you something. No, like there were one. So I was 17, Shanti, and with 20, I decided to have a child. And I did broke up the contact to her between the age of 18 to 21, like 20 and a half. And in my pregnancy, I thought this is very like maybe not okay to take the grandmother from my child. And this is a point what I want to really like underline for everyone who is in a kind of next to situation or was. You have to be strict and decide to protect you. So even if it's your mom or someone so close to you, this you have to leave it behind, even if it
Mm.
hurts so much and it's the only person that cares. Because later on, she was kind of fixated on my child. She came together to gynecologist to watch me while I was in the you know room and in the ultrasound. And this was too close. She couldn't let go, and she took over my child,
Mm.
kind of, you know. So all not normal. So I'm quiet now.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing, when you see how these things continue to play themselves out. There's such a manipulation there. And I would love to actually carry on the story, but I know we've hit just over an hour now, and I know we kind of scheduled an hour. But it would be great if we could continue, because I think there's such a healing journey, right, that one has to go through when you've been through something like that. The betrayal of a mother and from a mother is an almost impossible thing for most people to overcome. And when we look at the system and how they groom children, the first thing they do is they completely paralyze that connection or disable that connection with the mom. And they inevitably remove either the mother from the child's life or make sure that that child does not trust its mother, because the mother has obviously, under their control, treated the child in a certain way or done things to the mom that is obviously in her controlled state, has that she's done to her child. And it's all part of the manipulation. I'm not saying mothers in this situation are innocent and they should be let off the hook. No, we're all responsible for our actions. But when we start seeing how the system works and how it's systematically designed over time to destroy the bond between a mother and her children, because there's no bond stronger. And when we start seeing that that's been their modus operandi, we can also realize, hang on, okay, let me go back. It's probably not about my mom at all, but it's about my own trust, my own sacred contract with my creator, right? That I've come here to fulfill. So that's amazing. And I'd love to maybe take that further um, in another show if you're open to that, Anna. Yeah.
Of course, yes, of course, Shanti. I would be very grateful because I think this is the only chance for us if we share truth fully and open up about this, because it's so from the psychology point of view, so complicated to understand. And in my case, it's
Absolutely.
really my, yes, it's really, the force was really my mom. She is not evil, extreme evil or something, but this is her state of feeling this is right, this is okay. She's kind of not
I
connected. Yes, Shanti, she's not connected.
Yes,
You said it. Sorry.
exactly.
Yeah, she's not connected with her heart, and she kind of thinks
No,
just logically and code. Yeah.
that would have been part of her coping mechanism. You know, as a healer over the years, that's what I see all the time. And especially a mother. Now, I don't know how many of you out there have single mother's guilt. My hand is my hand is way up there. And I want to tell you, there is no worse guilt than a mother feeling like you've let your child down.
Yes.
And that little face. And when the father doesn't arrive for his birthday, I mean, I had that, and my son would go and wait at the gate on the day his third birthday, for example, and his father said he was coming, and he never ever arrived. And my brothers had to go and fetch him 4 or 5 times. That look on his face, the disappointment, there's nothing you can do. And you know yourself, for example, that's not your fault at all, but this is your child. Now, that for me, obviously, when you are a compassionate and empathetic mom, you're going to have those feelings, yes, but it's also important not to stay there and obviously work through them, right? But in a situation like your mom, I would say, for example, the disconnect between her decisions around you when you were a little girl and the results thereof directly coming from her decisions must be soul destroying for her as a mother. So she's either going to block that off 100%, or she's going to slowly but surely start dealing with it and, have a really amazing healing journey with you. So what I'm seeing is that she's completely blocked that off, and she cannot cope with her own decision around what she did. So whether she's physically blocked it off or subconsciously blocked off the ramifications of her actions, but what she's doing, and her the way she's choosing to deal with her selling you out is completely unemotional, all intellectual. And that to me sounds and feels like she's still programmed. She's definitely still under some kind of programming. Because most mothers at this point in time, if they were out of the programming, would have had some kind of a connection with their children. That's my experience of working with survivors over the past 5 years. I'm not saying it's gospel truth, but I'm saying that's kind of like a trend that I've noticed. When the parents come out of it and the children comes out of it, there's usually some sort of reconnection, even if it's painful and traumatic. But at least there's an understanding, not the denial. As long as she's still in that denial, I think that is gonna, she's got to get out of that, because that, and I can imagine for you as a child, I mean, that's hectic. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Shati, I think the blockage is kind of like I'm missing again the word, but proud. There's too much proudness, like blocking
Pride,
you.
yeah. Mm,
Pride, thank you. Like from blocking you to see, hey, you
mm,
know, hey, if this not went not well with my second husband, and I need help. I take my child, protect it, protect it, and take it back, even if it's for me like feeling shame or that I didn't make it or have to ask my parents go back. She had an own flat, um, so she could make the step and say no, this is not okay, but she didn't want to go back in the system where she was born, and she couldn't let the the wish and imagination for a life with, yeah, financially safe, like. So
exactly.
mm,
Exactly.
yes,
The
pressure.
disconnect is too big because her actions have been completely 100% selfish. So, and that unfortunately is where she chose herself over her daughter. And that is the reality of her situation, and she has to live with that. And I don't think she quite can. She's not quite. She'd rather be angry with you. She'd rather blame you. She'd rather make it your responsibility that you didn't earn her life's wages for her. And if you think about it, it's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. But unfortunately, Anna, thank you so very much. I so appreciate you joining us here today. Love to carry on because I know that, and we will carry on. I know that that also brought about a whole lot of health issues for you along the way, and also finding your way back to that amazing space of balance again. So thank you for joining me. I really, really, really appreciate you. And I want to say thank you to our viewers for joining us as well, and supporting our survivors. Really appreciate you guys. Anna, is there anything you would maybe like to say in closing? Is there anywhere people can get hold of you? Although we have put your links and everything in the website, sorry, in the description area below. But yeah, is there anything
Yes,
you want to maybe just say in closing for us?
yes, of course. So I would like to share that if anyone is struggling with his health, maybe so much, because I know complex illnesses are hard to diagnose, and this was my experience. And yes, you can reach out, and I kind of can share with you what I know now after like 20 years of struggling with the system, health system, and I can maybe give you a bit blueprint what I would do different, and help you out. Yes, and also thank you for watching. And yes, it was amazing with you guys.
Thank you so much, and we'll definitely have you back. What is your website that I can just pop it on here?
So I'm not yet professionally online. I'm kind of a bit struggle with it, but
Okay,
yes, you can
okay,
reach out on Instagram or on YouTube or on X. On X, I
perfect.
do write, and so yes, I will do a website, but it's not done yet. So yes,
Perfect. So we'll just have your contact details in the description area. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and thank you for sharing your time with us. We really do value and appreciate you all. Please give us a like, a share, subscribe, share the video, share this information. I just think the more people that know about the truth happening, it just sheds more light in this world. And we are just able to see through the lenses and layers of bullshit that we've been fed for such a long time. Okay, guys. Take care. God bless. And yeah, let's just cut the bullshit, shall we? Just call it bullshit. Okay, bye.